All right, let's talk about something we all face, something we all kind of dread: rejection. Today, we're going to dig into why it hurts so much, but more importantly, how you can actually use it to get way, way stronger.
So let's just start with this idea. What if every single no you ever got wasn't actually a personal attack? What if it was more like a critical software update for your brain? An upgrade. And that's really the heart of what we're getting into today: how to turn that sting of rejection into real, lasting resilience.
So, first up, let's unpack something called the rejection paradox. This is all about why our natural instincts, the ones that are supposed to protect us, actually end up making the fear of rejection a whole lot worse. And let's be real, it feels incredibly personal, right? That sting is not just in your head, it's a deeply wired human response. I mean, think about it. For our ancestors, getting kicked out of the tribe was basically a death sentence. Because of that, our brains literally evolved to register social rejection with the same intensity as physical pain. No wonder it hurts so much. And this right here is the central problem. On one hand, you've got our instinct. Your brain's alarm system just starts screaming, "Danger, avoid this thing, run." But here's the crazy part. The reality is, by listening to that alarm, we're actually teaching our brain that the threat is legitimate. And that just makes us fear it even more the next time. It's a total paradox. The thing we do to protect ourselves is what strengthens the very fear we're trying to get away from. And this instinct to avoid, well, it has a real and honestly, a very high long-term cost, one that goes way beyond just feeling a little anxious. There's actually a psychological term for this: avoidance behavior. And it's not just about the big things, like not applying for your dream job. It's the small stuff too. It's not speaking up in a meeting or not asking someone out, all because you're afraid of what might happen. Think about it. In that moment, when you dodge something scary, man, it feels good. You get this rush of relief. But that relief is a trap, because in the long run, our world just gets smaller and smaller, our confidence starts to shrink, and our anxiety, well, it just keeps growing. You can actually see this vicious cycle right here. When you first face something that could lead to rejection, your anxiety is at a certain level. If you avoid it, yeah, you get that temporary relief. But look what happens. Your baseline anxiety for the next time actually gets higher. Every time you avoid something, you're not solving the anxiety. You're feeding it. Okay, but this is where the story completely changes. What if the very thing we're all running from, failure, is actually the key to breaking this whole cycle and building genuine, rock-solid strength? This brings us to a really powerful idea: post-traumatic growth. Now, most of us have heard of post-traumatic stress, right? Well, this is the other side of that coin. It's the idea that going through really difficult experiences can actually lead to these profound positive changes. It's not just about bouncing back to where you were before. It's about bouncing forward, becoming more capable than you ever were. I absolutely love this quote because it just reframes everything perfectly. Every rejection, every single setback, it's not a final grade on who you are. It's a lesson. It's like your brain is in the gym, lifting the weights of adversity, and it's getting stronger with every single rep. Okay, so we understand the problem. We see the potential. So now for the practical stuff. How do we actually actively rewire our brains to start chasing that growth instead of running from fear? The key here is basically the butterfly effect. You don't need to take some giant, terrifying leap of faith. It's all about making tiny, consistent choices to face that fear. Each small act of courage sends a brand new signal to your brain, and slowly but surely, you start building these new, more resilient neural pathways. So here's a super simple 3-step process you can use. First, just notice the feeling. When that urge to run and hide pops up, just say to yourself, okay, there's the fear. No judgment, just notice it. Second, choose one incredibly small action. I'm not talking give the whole presentation. I mean, just write one slide. Not ask for a huge raise, but maybe just draft the email. And third, and this is crucial, no matter what happens, you have to acknowledge the real win. You took action. You showed up. That act itself is the growth. When you start practicing this, you begin to develop what I like to call your rejection superpower. It completely transforms your relationship with failure. So let's just nail down these core truths one last time. Remember, rejection is just information. It's not a verdict on your worth. The only way to guarantee failure is to avoid trying in the first place. Every no is just another rep in the gym, building your resilience. And real growth, the good stuff, it always happens just outside your comfort zone. And the most important thing, Your brain isn't fixed. It can absolutely be rewired to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities. So, if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Rejection is not a roadblock stopping you in your tracks. It's a compass. It points directly to your greatest areas for growth. It shows you exactly where the edge of your comfort zone is, which is right where all the magic happens. And so, that brings us to the final question for you. Now that you know you can literally rewire your brain and you know that failure is actually the path to growth, what great thing will you dare to do? What's that thing waiting for you just on the other side of fear?